he could go sell beer or hang out, have fun, do something, right? And not be the stressful 9 to 5 and, work for the jerks that fire people that are 55. This is William writing in from St. Paul, Minnesota, close to Joe's home turf. That's right. The Surly Brewery is close to home, and I enjoy a pint or two there from time to time. Though my favorite pour of the year is the Grain Belt Premium. Ooh, Minnesota State Fair. Grain Belt Premium is pretty good beer.
Is it? What's it taste like?
A really good beer.
Is it specifically only available at the Minnesota State Fair?
I have no idea.
Or is that just like the optimum place to drink it?
I don't know. I think any place is an optimal place to drink Grain Belt. I haven't been to the Minnesota State Fair since I was like 4 years old, but everyone's just big raving about it.
Got it.
Oh, it's a big fair. It's great. I don't know.
Wasn't your thing.
I'm not a big state fair guy.
Yeah, I could see that.
No, I don't.
You don't want to go pet the goats and stuff?
No crowds, nothing like that. My wife and I share a 2017 Ford C-Max hybrid, which we bought used in 2020 after the catalytic converter got swiped out of our Prius. And someone stole the catalytic converter out of his Prius?
Yeah, I've heard this recently, that this is a thing. People are taking these out of cars, and then you're left with nothing.
Yeah, apparently the chop shops can make a whole lot of money off of selling catalytic converters.
We don't drive much, and neither of us likes cars.
I can see why.
All right. Okay, that solves it.
They're a nuisance.
My wife, 57. I'm 55. We have no kids, no specific legacy goals, though we'd like to leave money to the arts organization we're both involved with. She makes around $80,000 a year. I've been making $110 a year and getting glowing reviews from customers. But management didn't want a 55-year-old around anymore, and I got fired in June.
That's too bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
There's some age discrimination going on here, Big Al.
Yeah, I think have you talked to an attorney?
So it's glowing reviews from customers.
Yeah.
Loving it. He's killing the game.
And then turns 55.
Big boss man.
You're out.
Yeah, we will some old ass. And you look at Big Al. He's way older than you. I should talk to management.
Would you kick me out, please?
I would appreciate getting his ass kicked to the curb here. I got fired in June. That's sad. And the idea my position was eliminated.
That's what they told me.
Oh, yeah, that's the go-to, isn't it?
Yeah, you're killing it at 55.
Dude, glowing reviews from customers, but I'm sorry, you position just got eliminated.
You're 55. We can't have you around.
At the time, I had a part-time consulting gig that was lucrative for about 2.5 months, but that ended too. There might be some consulting work to come, but I'm unsure. Best case scenario, I'd make $50,000 to $60,000 a year, but more realistic, 15 to 20.
Well, there's somebody that actually is thinking realistically, like you were talking about.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Our house is paid for, and we want to stay in it as long as possible, but there are 3 sets of stairs, so who knows how that'll work. I mean, this guy's talking like he's 78
I know,
years
right?
old. You know what? It's like you're 55, bro.
Yeah, I have.
It's like I'm old. I got fired. He's out.
I'll just tell you.
Get off my lawn.
I'm 65. I got stairs in my home and my condo in Hawaii, and I love it. In fact, I run up and down the stairs for exercise.
Yeah, you do burpees and everything.
The whole deal. Don't have to leave the home.
Okay. It's like, well, who knows how that's gonna last? We got to get wheelchair access here soon. We have no interest in owning a second residence, but we enjoy escaping Minnesota. Awful winters for 2 to 3 weeks for vacations in Hawaii, Florida, or other similar places. Okay, cool. Presently, yearly expenses are around $70,000, which includes vacations. We would probably, it would be probably 10 or 20,000 higher if we needed to pay for health insurance. Presently, I'm on my wife's insurance, but her health isn't quite as good as mine. So I'm planning. God, this is just getting depressing. Oh God, she's out. Yeah, her health sucks. Mine is in great shape, but
plus we need a new house.
3 sets of stairs. Just want to have a cocktail. Presently, I'm my wife's insurance, but her health isn't quite as good as mine. So I'm planning as if we'll need to fund our own health insurance at some point. Our combined IRAs and 401k balance is $1.8 million, which includes $450 in a Roth IRA, $200,000 in my 401k from my employer that fired me. The 401k plan allows rule for 55. So as I understand it, I can access the $200,000 penalty free. We have $100,000 in a brokerage account, just $10,000 in an HSA, and $45,000 in bonds. The house is probably worth around $375,000. Past 2 years, I've rolled around $250,000 from my pre-tax IRA to the Roth and have used the money in the brokerage account to pay the taxes. My wife wants to keep working, but might not be able to do so because of health. Hard to say. I'm not really excited going back to work that pays 6 figures.
Yeah, too stressful.
Who wants that? The consulting money is good when it's there.
Sure.
I've also investigated work that is flexible, but much lower paid, ranging from a substitute teacher, right? Or he's going to sell beer at the old state fair.
Yeah, that's the one I'd recommend.
I'd appreciate your spitball thoughts on how we position the worst case. This guy lives in a worst case scenario.
Well, he's just building it up for this question.
It's just like, I'm like, oh my God. The worst case scenario of my wife working maybe a year or 2 more, me bringing in 25 a year or even less age 65, and us paying our own health insurance till age 65. Also, any thoughts on future Roth conversions would be appreciated. The grand plan is to take Social Security at age 70. If we keep working in our present jobs, the government says I'd get $4,000 a month and my wife would get 2.5 a month in today's dollars. Thanks again. Love the show. Well, we love you. Let's get you fired up here.
So I guess add the different accounts together, a couple $1 million. We'll say we got that to work with.
Okay. So he needs $70,000 to live off of.
70,000.
Okay.
Yep.
He's going to make 25, or no, let's call it 90,000. Let's add another 10 or 20,000 for the health insurance.
Yeah, okay. I agree with
You
that.
fine with that?
Yep. Good.
Okay. So 90,000 minus 25 is his consulting income. That gets us, and then his wife makes 80, but if she's going to work for 2 more years, and then they got to bridge the gap from his age 57 to age 70, which is 12, 13 years.
Right. For Social Security.
So, let's see, 25 minus 90 is what?
65.
65. What's 4% is,
Well,
divide 4% is 65?
5% of 4% of 2 million. What are you doing?
I'm doing, if he's got $65,000, the need, he needs 1.6 million. If he takes 4% of 1.6 million, that gives him the 65,000.
Yeah.
In his 70,000 says it includes his vacations and things like that. So he's got a little wiggle room to pay some tax.
Yeah. The fact that he's got 1.8 million in an IRA 401k and some other money as well. Yeah, I think this works. The only caveat here is that retiring in your 50s, 4% might be a little bit rich.
Right. You
as
probably
a distribution
want 3.
rate, or even 3.5. See how that works
Well,
out.
6.03. He needs 2.1 million if he's taking 3.
And he's got a couple million, so it's pretty darn
Yeah,
close.
you're pretty close.
And if your wife works a couple more years, then hopefully you save a little bit more too, although not much if you're not working. Depends on your consulting income. But I think, Joe, I think this is really close.
Yeah, I mean, he could go sell beer or hang out, have fun, do something, right? And not be the stressful 9 to 5 and, work for the jerks that fire people that are 55, even though he had glowing reviews. I don't know if you heard that part.
I heard it. Yeah.
So here's the math, folks. This is what we're doing. He wants to spend $70,000. We're adding another $20,000 for his health insurance, which gives us 90,000.
And the reason we're doing that is presuming his wife won't be working, and then they'll have to buy their own insurance until they hit Medicare age, which is 65.
Because his wife, well, he's way healthier than his wife.
Right.
So who knows how long she's going to work. Just using his language.
Yep.
And then he say, you know what? Let me make $25,000 a year. So let's say it's 25,000. So what's short is 65,000 that needs to come from his investments.
Right.
So it's 55, 57. You probably don't want to pull out any more than, call it 3.5%. Let's
Yeah.
be conservative and say 3%.
Okay, good.
So then I'm dividing the 65,000 by 3%. That gets me $2.2 million.
Is what's needed in investments.
Right. Because if you look at, let's say if you have $2.2 million, 3% of 2.2 million is 65,000.
Right.
So he needs 2.2 million roughly in a nest egg for him to do his retirement dream.
Right.
And that's going to bridge the gap until his age 70, right? He, I don't know how long he wants to work part-time. Maybe his wife is, going to continue to work a little bit longer. If they retire tomorrow, I think this thing still works as long as
I think it works. And plus you got to consider when they do take Social Security, they'll probably be just fine. So that might argue that you could take a higher distribution rate when you consider what it's going to be when Social Security kicks in.
right. And it doesn't sound like they're very happy. So maybe their life expectancy is lower and they could take a little bit more out.
Well, and maybe they should do something about that. Take time off, travel,
Right.
turn this thing around.
You got it, man. Have a little green belt.
Right.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.